Hey everyone, it's David here. So a while ago, I had a house in Florida that had gone up for a foreclosure. Actually, it was a lot of land, and this lot of land went ahead and went up for foreclosure on a tax foreclosure. It sold for over the asking price, and it had sat there for quite a while. Now, I've made a lot of money by going through tax overages, finding older claims and connecting them to the owner of the claim. So this one was a Josue Garcia in Brazil. And the guy lived in Brazil. He did not live in the United States. So I was trying to find someone who lived out of the country and to find someone, how do they live? How do you locate someone who lives out of the country? So a couple of things I did here is number one, is I went to Facebook and I put in Josue Garcia and I put Brazil, and I got a million different Josue Garcias that live in Brazil. This is like trying to find the needle in the haystack. But then I put the city of what he lived in with Brazil, and I got a whole bunch of Josue Garcias that went up. So what I did is I clicked on each one of their profiles and I messaged each one of them. And what I did is I went to Google Translate, and what I did is I translated this from English into Spanish. So I just put, hello, Mr. Garcia. My name is David Chert, and I want to let you know that you have funds from the property at 123 Main Street. Are you aware this sold for over the asking price at no cost to you? I can assist you in claiming these funds. So what I did is I put this up in Google Translate. I went from the language, I went to Spanish. And then what I did is I copied both these messages in English and Spanish. So I had one running copy. And what I did is I went on to each one. Now there was 250 Josue Garcia. So I started going off one by one, just boom, boom, direct message them. First one in Spanish, second one in English. I figured he probably spoke in English. And I honestly don't know who this person is, so I hope they don't mind me using their profile. I'm just kind of using this as an example. I went through, well, Facebook did something at 50 searches, I think it was, or 50 direct messages. It cut me off for the day. There was like 200 and something. Literally, this was a very popular name in Brazil. So when I got up the next day, I thought, okay, I'm going to keep on trying to work this claim. I had a message in my inbox, and that it said something like, haha, very funny, very funny. This is Mr. Garcia Josue. I own the property free and clear. You're a fraud. You're a scam. And that was in Spanish to me in Spanish. So I now had my client and I was communicating with them in Spanish. Now, what do you say to someone who says this to you? Like, and I'm going to be sharing with you throughout this video how to handle something like this. By the way, I've done this in LinkedIn and I've done this in Facebook where I've been able to find people. I've also done something similar in email. In email, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and try a couple ways to get a hold of them. You don't want to try to email somebody once. You want to try them over a sequence of 6 weeks and maybe once, twice a week, and then put an attachment in with the Google Docs attachment. That way it doesn't get flagged as spam, and go ahead and email people. But again, if you're sending out a mass amount of emails, it will go ahead and get flagged as spam sometimes. So you got to watch that. So I knew that I had my client at this point. So what I ended up doing was I went ahead and notified him. So I said, okay, I said, thank you for the reply. And again, Google Translate, I put his, what I would do is I would just take his message, I'd paste it in here and it would go to English, and I would type what I wanted to type and put it back to him. So I just said, when's the last time you paid taxes on this? And he texted me back. He goes, I don't have to pay taxes on it. I own the property free and clear. So now we're direct messaging each other. And I said, okay, I said, Mr. Garcia, I've got some good news and some bad news for you. The bad news is you didn't pay taxes on your property and you lost it. And I showed him a picture of the evidence that the property had gone up for foreclosure. The good news is you have X amount of thousands of dollars here and you get paid this money. And he's like, I can help you claim it. And he's like, okay. So most counties, most places will allow you to use an out of the country notary. They have to verify the identity. They have to show that it was them, which he did. He gave all his information. So we're going through getting him paid, and bam, on title, we hit his ex-wife. She was also on title. So I notified him on this. I said, hey, by the way, and it didn't show up in the county title reports. It didn't show up on anything until the very end. This came up. It was a surprise to me, and this seldom happens, but it happened. I said, by the way, she's on title with you. Are you aware of that? And he texted me back. He said, yeah, but I don't have to pay her. We're divorced. I don't know where she is. We don't talk anymore. So I just messaged him back. I said, okay, there's good news and there's bad news on this. The good news is that she gets half, but the bad news is you're going to have to sign that off, or she's going to have to sign off. I guess there was really technically no good news for him on that, but I mean, I could still get you paid. That's the good news. But the bad news is she gets half of this. So he texted back and said, well, I don't want her to get half. I don't like her. I hate her guts. I don't want her to get half. Texted back, Mr. Garcia, the law is the law. You cannot collect her half. I'll still charge you the same percentage, which I took a hit because it went something like from 12,000 to 6,000. I was getting 30%, I think. So I was going to get like almost $4,000. It might have been 40%. This was a while ago. So now I'm taking a now I'm getting 6,000 and now I'm getting 1,800. 1,800 is better than nothing. So I went ahead and proceeded forward to get him to sign everything. He was very unhappy, but we went ahead and proceeded with the documents to get him paid out. And then his ex-wife, and I just said, hey, do you know where she's at? Do you know how we could locate her? I get her to sign here too. And he said no, he claimed no, and he was very ungrateful on that whole process with her and didn't want her to get anything, which is sad. I mean, people need to put their differences behind them, and that's easier said than done. So that is how I've used people in social media. Keep in mind, this is my least method that I use to contact somebody. I contacted a guy in Florida who was the direct claimant, and I did the same thing. I went ahead and direct messaged him on Facebook, and he said, can you take me off your list? So I direct messaged him back. I said, can I ask you why you'd walk away from $30,000? Texted back and said, no, take me off your list. I don't want to be part of this. So there's times you can use a script and it'll work for you, and there's not every single time does it work in your favor. But this, again, is helping find people with social media and using social media in your favor to go ahead and connect with people. And I was amazed that I found him on the first round, on the first try, but it did happen. That is not always the case when you're looking for people. LinkedIn is also a good connection. The problem I have with LinkedIn is that it doesn't always, people don't go on LinkedIn every single day. They go on like once every quarter, once every 6 months, a lot. I mean, you get your active users, but a lot of people don't use LinkedIn like they do other social media accounts. So everyone generally has a business account on LinkedIn, but not everyone uses it actively. So that's one of the problems there. So anyway, hope this helps. This is a video just on finding your clients, being able to locate them through social media. I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks again for watching.